The Green New Deal makes sure that every American is guaranteed a government job if they want. That is a disaster at the ballot box. You might as well FedEx the election to Donald Trump.
That criticism of the Green New Deal at last night's debate triggering a strong defense from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This comes amid a study on the cost of her plan on swing state households. Power the Future, a group critical of the conventional wisdom about climate change, is one of the organizations behind that study. Executive Director Daniel Turner, he joins me now. Daniel, it's good to have you here. Tell me, what did your study say it would cost people, the families out there in America, if we were to implement the Green New Deal as best as you could estimate?
Well, thanks for having me on, Dana, and it would cost them more than they can afford. We looked at the pricing of things like getting rid of fossil fuels by 2030. When you talk about things in the Green New Deal like eliminating airplanes, eliminating the combustion engine, what does that mean for your average American family, for your average household? And we determined that it is $70,000 in the first year and almost $60,000 in perpetuity. Life itself becomes very expensive under a Green New Deal.
Per household. So we have those numbers here. So it's $70,000 in the first year. I have to say, just given, the Green New Deal actually was quite unspecific, right? It was quite vague. And given that, I'm actually kind of surprised that it's only $70,000 in the first year per household.
Yeah, this is a floor. I mean, this is a conservative estimate. I think the numbers are actually going to be quite higher. Look at what people have in terms of a combustion engine. If you are from Queens, like AOC is, she thinks of a combustion engine as a car. If you're from rural America, a combustion engine is farm equipment, it's an ATV, it's sometimes even an airplane and a boat. Yeah. Exactly. How do you get goods and services around your community when you eliminate a combustion engine?
Okay, so Daniel, last night on The Five, we talked about this and in your study, and my co-host, Juan Williams, he was kind of skeptical. Take a listen.
Sure.
I think you guys should question the source of these studies. The whole idea seems to me that you have somebody putting forward ideas, and then you get these advocacy groups pretending that they are impartial in terms of saying, oh, it's going to cost you so much in order to scare everyone away from thinking for themselves.
I went on to try to defend you, but let you defend yourself. What do you think of that?
I am not impartial. I started Power the Future to be a voice for energy workers in rural America. If you're a coal miner in West Virginia or in Wyoming or Alaska, or you work in the oil and gas industry, people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Michael Bloomberg, who has pledged $500 million, they are targeting you, your job, your community, your way of life. Why is the opioid epidemic so severe in communities where the coal industry has dried up? No one asks those questions. So Juan is right. I am not unbiased. I want to fight for energy workers.
So he would say, though,
that
so you're saying you're not unbiased, but he's questioning your numbers. What about that?
No, you can read all the methodology online and see it. We're using general information. How many cars exists in the state of Alaska? X. Great. If we have to turn every one of them into an electric vehicle, because this is what the Green New Deal mandates, what is that going to cost? That's just math. Math is not unbiased. I would always like to wonder why AOC is never forced to explain how we get rid of fossil fuels by 2030.
Well, one of the things that Democrats would say is that conservatives have no plan. They have no plan for climate change. They have no plan for cleaning up the environment. I'll give you the last word, and you can tell me if that's true.
I don't think we need a plan for any of those things, because look at the quality of life we have in America. You were talking about immigration in your last segment. Why do people want to come here? Because it's clean, because life is fairly inexpensive.
But what about people who are worried
about
climate change going forward? Like if there's like young people in America maybe turning away from the Republican Party because they don't seem to have a plan.
Yeah, the only thing I can say about that is I'm 44. I've been hearing about the end of the world for about 30 years now. So when one of their modeling predictions comes close to true, maybe then we can talk about climate change. But up until now, it has just been nothing but scare tactics and lies. Yep. And I'm going to push back against it.
Daniel, the modeling came up last night as well. Greg Gutfeld was defending that point of view that you just brought up as well. So, you got to watch The Five, you got to watch the Daily Briefing, you got to come back and talk to us a little bit more. Daniel Turner, thank you.
Thank you.